We're going to start right out of the gate. The biggest disappointment of all the leagues in baseball, the National League East. James, who do you got?
It goes against every fiber of my Mets being. However, I am going to say that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win the NL East, not because they're all that good, and even though they are very, very good. The Braves lost a couple of key pieces. The Mets are in a rebuilding phase, although they've played a lot better recently. I've got to give it to the Philadelphia Phillies. They're a dynamite team, and they have one of my favorite players in baseball in Bryce Harper.
James, that is one hell of a pick because I am picking the Phillies too, so you got that one right. It goes against every little fiber of your being because any other team you would have picked in the NL East goes against your beautiful Queens, Long Island Mets, which is just so pathetic but it is what it is. Okay, does it hurt you to say if you said the Nationals were going to win the division, does that hurt? Or the Marlins? No, but if you said the Braves or the Phillies, it's just different.
Yeah, it seems dirty to me. I still have nightmares about Chipper Jones facing Armando Benitez. I still have, nightmares about, how many different Pat Burrell, Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley.
Yes. Yeah, Brad Lidge coming out of that bullpen, throwing sliders out of hell. Yeah, Roy Halladay, just throwing some, no hitters, whatever. Just Phillies. God, it just is what it is, Where does Tom Seaver stand for you?
I didn't get to see Tom Seaver, so, a lot of Met fans, they think he's the Messiah, but to me, when I think of the New York Mets and the greatest player in our history, I still think about Mike Piazza. Tom Seaver, amazing pitcher, but I don't have that personal connection because I never got to see him play, although I did get to meet him once at SiriusXM, and I had his security badge for a while, but I lost it.
Lost it. You know what we need to do one episode? We need to do our Mount Rushmore of our favorite teams. I'd love to hear your Mount Rushmore of Mets. I'd love to hear also your, I don't know, what would you call it? The armpit of the Mets too. I'd love to hear your 4 hated players, and I'll do the same thing for the Cubs because I grew up a Cubs fan. I'll do my 4 best. I don't know about 4 hated, but I can definitely throw in maybe a fan in that one for the Cubs. So
I know who that fan is.
Yeah, a couple fans and a GOAT. I don't know, some things. I'll throw it in there. That'd be a lot of fun to do that. All right, so I am going also with the Phillies. They're just too good of a baseball team. Again, all around the lineup. It's kind of crazy how they went into the season. We were kind of thinking they felt like underdogs to me for some reason. I don't know why. They felt like underdogs with the Braves, that monster that they're building. We thought the Mets were going to be competitive, and they are. They are competitive. The Phillies, why is this surprising us? Why is this surprising that they have the best record in baseball, that they're just dominating, that they have 3 aces?
I don't know why it's surprising you. It didn't surprise me. I knew how good they were.
I knew it. Just for some reason, it's catching me a little bit by surprise that they're so good that maybe I just thought they were just missing a piece or two. Couldn't quite figure that out. I do still have some questions about the bullpen. I think they can use a guy or two in that bullpen. I do like those pieces. I love everything about that rotation. Ranger Suarez, what he's doing right now is ridiculous, let alone Noah and Wheeler. So the Phillies.
For the longest time, you really underplayed Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. So that's why I think that you underestimated them. You were never the biggest fan of either of those players, and I think that's in the back of your head.
I would say this. I downplayed the consistency early in his career of Bryce Harper. And same thing with Soto. I am the exact same with Soto. Came out of the gate with a fucking reckoning, passion, incredible baseball player, and then had some struggle, then played great, and then had some struggle. And so to me, it was like, dude, who are you? Are you the MVP or are you just a guy? And that's my thing. And I think the moment he transitioned to Philly, he got that little chip on his shoulder that's always been there, became a little, a little bluer. It was always kind of a little white collar, a little I'm kind of pretty boy Bryce Harper. Don't touch me, don't talk to me. I'm in this different level. Now he became little blue collar, a little worker, a little the hair got a little longer, beard got a little bit more right? He became Philly.
That's the reason. Right there, you said it. I'm gonna stop you right there. That's the reason you had a problem with Harper. It was because of that long, lustrous hair. You were so jealous for so long.
It's too pretty. Now it's got a little scuff in it, and I like it. And I love, though, because now we're hearing a different thing. We're hearing teammate Bryce Harper. We're hearing clubhouse Bryce Harper. We're hearing the dude. He's the dude wanting in front of the camera to talk for the team and not to talk about Bryce. And I love it. And he's taken that and he's become a clubhouse, like a monster as far as a leader. And now that's when I'm like, yeah, like I'm kind of rooting for him now. Kyle Schwarber, the thing is when he was with the Cubs and he was a great baseball player, then he talked about losing weight and cutting on all this stuff. And I was like, that's the dumbest effing thing you can ever do in your fucking life. And it was dumb. And he had a little bright spot when he came back with the Cubs, but then he started getting big again. He started hitting home runs. I'm in it. Like, come on, dude. I love that. Justin Turner, I love, but we're talking way too much about the Phillies, and we have a lot more to talk about. Anyways, I'm on the bandwagon now. I always thought they're going to make the playoffs. I always thought they were going to make the playoffs. I just didn't think they were going to be like the best team in baseball and dominating. And they're doing it. NL Central. I think out of all divisions for me, this is a little bit of a tough one to pick and a tough one to get behind. But who do you got?
Like I said when we were talking about the American League Central, same thing with the NL Central. There's no sexy pick here. It's all who's the best out of the bunch, and I think Milwaukee is that team. I don't think they have anybody that is so crazy, MVP type guy, but they got a lot of good players.
A lot of good ball players, a good team, a team that knows how to win. Yelich is having, a kind of resurgence type of year. Contreras is playing well in general. Jackson Chirino, is that it? Churio? I don't know. Cheerio, like Cheerios. I just always felt like that was the wrong way to say it. Playing good, especially, obviously as of late, that, coming on up and playing, just rookie. I love it. Playing really, really good baseball. Freddie Peralta is becoming one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's always been there, but a little overshadowed there with Corbin Burns. And you're talking about Woodruff. And so he kind of been overshadowed. Now we're seeing that he is an absolute stud. He's also on my fantasy team, which is and then they don't even have their bullpen healthy. So I think they're actually going to be a better team than they are right now. Get some guys back from the bullpen. They're a really interesting team. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I'm with you, Milwaukee. NL West, is there any question who we're picking here?
I don't know who you're picking, but I know I'm picking the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. I mean, come on. Like, I don't care how good anybody else is. Like, the Padres have a very interesting team. It's the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers division to lose. I don't think anybody can beat the Dodgers, but the Dodgers could lose it. And that's really the only way I can think about it, is like the Dodgers have to absolutely fail. What's crazy is the Dodgers, when they get healthy, they basically have an entire all-star team sitting there on the DL or IL. I guess it's called IL now. God, this was weird. I mean, here you go. Walker Buehler, Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May, Yamamoto. You're talking about Gratterall, Joe Kelly. I mean, that's their pitchers that are hurt. We got Cy Young winners. We've got the richest pitcher in baseball. We've got one of the best pitcher in baseball, Walker Buehler. Gonsolin, amazing. Dustin May, absolute stud. Just the guys that are hurt. Mookie Betts right now, like Muncy.
Amazingly enough, their best pitcher isn't going to pitch all year.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. All right, so that's where we're at. We are the same with Phillies, Milwaukee, and the Dodgers. And now we're moving on to wild card. You did not pick them in order. I picked them in order. Who do you have as your wild card picks?
I'm going to put the Mets in there just because I'm a Met fan and I'm hoping, although it's very counterintuitive to everything I'm thinking.
How much money? How much money do you have on the Mets?
I never bet on sports.
You don't?
No.
If you ever had to bet on sports, if you had to pick your first bet ever, what event would it be? Okay,
let me rephrase. Not that I never do. On occasion, I'll bet on the Super Bowl, some hockey here and there, but it's very rare that I bet on any sports because I know enough to know that I don't know anything. You cannot determine the outcome of a game. Anyhow, so my wildcard teams are the Mets, San Diego, and Atlanta.
Mets, San Diego, and Atlanta. I think you got 2 of the 3 there, which is crazy. So we had 5 of the 6 picks the same. I guess it's not that crazy, especially in this kind of day and age or this season when it's like really top heavy in both leagues. It's top heavy, and then there's a whole lot of kind of like middle, like, I don't know a better way to say it, but shit, kind of like, I'm looking at this saying, I think the Mets are going to stay exactly who they are. And this isn't saying that the Mets aren't good enough to be a wild card team. I just think they're not going to be as good at the end of the day as this one team. So I've got the Braves and the Padres. I think those teams are in. When I'm looking at really the only other team that would be in consideration with that group besides this other team is the Cardinals. Cardinals are a solid team, but again, I think they're just battling the same thing they're battling the last 3 years, just good with a couple things and just mediocre kind of ball around. Best reliever in baseball probably in Helsley, but kind of mediocre. Not a whole lot of scariness in that lineup. I am going with my hometown, Arizona Diamondbacks. And the reason I'm doing this because, one, I think one of the best things that ever happened to them last year was going to the playoffs, making that run, going to the World Series. I think they got a taste, and the best thing you can ever do is get a taste. Right now, you're looking at Gabriel Moreno, Alec Thompson, and what I'm looking at, Eduardo Rodriguez, Merrill Kelly, all on the IL. When I see that, I know they can get better. They can get healthy. And the best pitcher, I think, on this entire rotation, Eduardo Rodriguez, who's not even pitched for them yet, when he gets healthy and he adds with Merrill Kelly, with Zach Gallen, with what Fott has done, I think they're going to end up having this rotation in August and September that is going to kind of separate them. And when that lineup kind of gets going, it starts getting hotter here. And Cartel Marte is having an incredible season. Christian Walker's heating up. Gurriel, man, heating up. If we can get Corbin Carroll doing anything, Corbin, just give me anything. Ever since last year, about midway when I think he got hit by a ball, he's not been the same. But if he can do anything, this team's gonna be really good. And again, they're gonna. I predict them going on a little run in August, September, and that puts them into the playoffs as my number 3 playoff seed. But we are pretty much everything the same. Phillies, Milwaukee, Dodgers, Braves, Padres. You're going with your Mets. I'm going with, I guess I'd call it my D-bags. That's our pick for the playoffs.